Ever get the feeling you've been cheated?
Let me suggest that you take a vacation from yourself. Time the trip is over, you get the girl, kill the bad guys, and save the entire planet.
Catch!
Get ready for a surprise!
Set in the year 2084, Total Recall revolves around Quaid, an ordinary guy who has a sense there's more to life than his construction job, nice apartment and beautiful wife Laurie. In his sleep he is haunted by dreams of Mars, in which he seems to have lived another life. Despite family and friends' opposition, he decides that if he can't visit Mars for real, he can do the next best thing. He visits the offices of Recall Incorporated, a unique travel service that specializes in implanting fantasy adventures in the minds of its customers. Things don't go as planned, and Quaid is thrown into an adventure where everything he thinks he knows is a carefully constructed lie. Who can he trust? Unsure of who he is, Quaid realizes that he must find his answers on Mars, a planet torn apart by a violent confrontation between its rulers and the people. The question is, after a memory implant, is your mind still yours? Are you living in the real world, or is it all just a simulation? Dutch director Verhoeven is known for his blending of graphic violence and sexual content with social satire. If any director represents the 90s, it's him. Religion always played a large part in his filmmaking, and he often uses Christian symbolism in his films. Philip K. Dick is one of the most influential science fiction writers of all time. Dick wrote 44 novels and about 121 short stories, many of which have been made into TV shows and movies. His stories explore various themes such as authoritarian governments, alternate realities, monopolistic corporations, drug abuse, and altered states of consciousness. His fiction focused on the big questions of life like what is identity, perception, and the nature of reality. Gary Goldman is Hollywood royalty. He will always be locked in a never-ending battle with John Williams for the title of the greatest film composer of all. If you put a gun to my head, I'd have to go with Goldsmith. Back in the 90s, Arnie was at the top of his game, and Total Recall, while not amongst his best films, is still in his top 10. Although I don't think Arnie is the best casting in terms of how he fits the story, he is perfect in the over-the-top action flick that Verhoeven created. Unfortunately, big city conservative Arnie doesn't seem to have learnt the lessons from his own movies about freedom and the subjugation of the people by a corrupt elite. Maybe he's still living in a delusion. Never put your faith in actors. By their very nature, they are duplicitous. The film also stars the always great Michael Ironside and a brilliant Ronny Cox. Sharon Stone also plays the ultimate Uber Karen in her sexiest ever performance. She plays sweet and innocent nearly as convincingly as she does a sexy siren femme fatale. Even though this film is an over-the-top roller coaster ride of an action movie, it has a woman with 3 breasts and a midget hooker after all, it has more going on than first meets the eye. It tackles big ideas like the very meaning of reality. The subject matter is as relevant today as it was 30 years ago, questioning our faith in the media and who controls the narrative, abuse of power by a corrupt elite, and the relation to the deplorables who are literally clinging to life by the end seem strangely similar to current events. First, the ruling class introduce lockdowns. They skip the passport scheme and go straight to cutting off the air. Imagine if the Democrats had the power to control the air supply of the deplorables and clingers.
In all probability,
the ruling elite pull out all the stops to destroy Klato, the figurehead of the rebellion, or as I like to call him, Baby Trump. But even after they destroy him through fraud and deception, the people are not defeated. Our hero Quaid breaks from the dark side, the revelation that he's not who he thinks he is, but has the ability to walk away from the establishment, is his kind of red pill moment 9 years before The Matrix. If you just want to enjoy a great action movie, you can. You can also ponder how we get blue skies on Mars. Quaid is pretty manly. After all, he kills the baddie, gets the girl and saves the planet. But as it's probably just a dream, we can only give him a 3.
A man is defined by his action, not his memory. Open your